eventually people will walk in or whatever the case is. I know this algorithm sucks
Yeah.
ass.
At my end, I think we're like 2 minutes early. I'll probably blast out to some people in a couple of minutes because I know there were some people that were planning on joining us.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, how was your day? I think my week was just weird. As we were talking about, on the DMs, I was doing with inventory, and I'm finally glad that whole fiasco's over. So that's a little annoying. Hello?
Hi, did you hear me? Sorry, I was sending something out. I've done overnight inventory as like a peon before, like a long time ago, but uh, that's got to be terrible. So, like, were you overnight? Like, what was the deal with that?
Oh, no, no, no. So it's just the preparing
Okay.
for the inventory for that Wednesday. It was just so annoying. I'm just glad. I'm like, yo, I stood till maybe 1 o'clock in the morning with my other coworker, just trying to, pretty much get shit done. And I told my other coworker, okay, you know what? I don't want to hear nothing after we leave. That's exactly what I said.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm really looking forward to what we're going to get into tonight. I've had kind of a
Yes.
not so great week as far as like just been coming through with that trip, but I'm really looking forward to tonight because we're kind of going in through that like locked in a time capsule. I dressed with the
Yeah.
80s. I know some people will be joining us shortly, and hopefully they'll get it. And I'm hoping people will join us because I want to kind of go in this conversation with you about how 2019 to 2020 to 2021, pre-COVID going into COVID, there are some things that are so iconic, like taking a picture with somebody wearing a mask. Now what's going on. When we are at because of the mask. So,
Right. Right. What's up, Carlos? What's going on? Just saying hi to some
I'm
people.
trying to get some other people in. So yeah, like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no. That time frame was so weird, right? Because I remember I had when before we rebranded the podcast, I remember talking to Leon about how 2019, 2020, the community peaked in that aspect where once the lockdown happened, everyone was going live, and there was pretty much lives everywhere. There was communities that I didn't know even existed that actually started popping up out of nowhere, and I was like, oh snap, okay, so that's what's going on. And it seemed like everyone was going live. I remember when I had my community page, jammed them down, and then it became Ink Sessions Live. It was just a whole thing. But I think one of the most important pivotal moments of 2019, 2020, especially with the whole COVID thing, I think we could all agree that we saw a lot of people's true colors. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And it's not even just in the community of, like in my circle, but just even in the world. I know in my case, I saw a lot of pastors that were exposed from a lot of things. The Black Lives Matter thing happened. There was a lot of rioting, at least where I was at, where they were taking place and then bordering up stuff. It was just bad. And it really gave me perspective. I remember when we had that episode with Arthur, he said too, like when they couldn't do the things they couldn't do anymore, that's when they had to really look at some aspects of his life and say, okay, we can't keep doing this. And that's why I think it's just so ties in together.
Yeah. So, let's kind of go back to it. That's kind of why we picked this specific hashtag to kind of go through. It's hitting for me perfectly that 2019, 2020, because that's kind of when I hit Instagram for my first time. And like you said, there were so many people coming together as a community when we were talking during our first few conversations before we kind of joined together forces on this, where,
Yeah.
we kind of want to bring that kind of sense of community back. So we're kind of going through some old that whole hashtag. I want you to kind of go again. Why did you start Jam the Session? I know we're kind of coming up with a new branding, still a work in progress, so to speak, but that's okay. But again, like, things are iconic with a certain time. Like, again, we talked about, you know, the 80s here because we're going to be at a specific time looking at that 2021. So what start with that kind of, what started you off with that, and where are we going now?
Okay, got you. Okay, so when I first did the community thing, whatever, this is like maybe, I'm gonna say 6-7 months after my father passed away. That's when I first started going on Instagram and posting poetry, because there was all these platforms, but I never heard of it. There was the Writers Cafe. There was Medium, but Medium's very restricted, and it's just weird. So I said, all right, let me just go on Instagram and see what happens. So I would just write hashtag poetry, and I saw a whole bunch of stuff. I said, oh, there's a thing. But, you know, nothing too crazy. And then eventually I said, you know, let me just see what happens, right? I'll put some hashtags on and see what happens, right? So it's interesting because I didn't know there was a community until I'm going to say August or September of that year, right? So the whole Jam Them Down thing, that was my original name, my original handle. I was just trying to come up with a new name, like a cool name, like, yeah, you know, there's Zillion Poetry, like yours has the Let the Thoughts Out. So I was like, oh yeah, Jam Them Down. Yeah, like, it was so stupid. No,
and I thought that's brilliant. You know exactly what you're getting. It, you know the vibe, you know the beat, you know.
So what ended up so then what happened was, oh my bad, sorry. So anyway, so what ended up happening was I said, you know, instead of write them down, it's jam them down, because the word jam is actually my legal name, like it's my initials, Juan Andres Morales. So that's why I say jam them down made sense. So it wasn't until maybe September of that year, I was coming home from work, and this is when I was living in New York. I lived in Jersey, but I was working in New York, and it was so interesting because at that time, I had gotten tagged on something. I'm like, who the fuck is tagging me? Like, what the hell? So I go on my phone, and it's Poets Anonymous. I'm like, the hell is this? And Zillion Poetry was the one that tagged me. So I was like, oh, okay. So I guess, you know, I can just go and I can just, all right, let me check out the replay. Because you remember back in the day, you couldn't save the replays. It was one of those, like, it was 24 hours and then that's it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's basically what happened. So that's all it was. So I was like, oh, okay. So I had to take another phone device and I recorded it like this going forward. Just like, which I still have to this very day, which is freaking crazy. I still have it to this day. I'm trying to see if I can log into my old phone so I can show you all the lives that I've recorded on here. It's so crazy, but this is giving me some issues at the moment. But anyway, so that's how it all started. I said, oh, okay, let me follow Poets Anonymous. And then little by little, I somehow got into Your Heart Beats Loud. And I met a woman named Natalie Cerna and Brett Allen Hart. So they were talking about mental health. They were talking about, you know, Natalie used to talk a lot about her bipolar disorder, stuff like that. So that's pretty much how the whole thing started. So I was like, oh, okay. So I would interact with them more. And it just happened to happen so naturally. So I ended up building a relationship with them, friendship-wise, and it was so cool. And then eventually what ended up happening was, so there was some drama that happened that, you know, I don't really know too much about. And usually whenever there is drama, I usually stay out of it or whatever. So it's pretty much what happened. And Your Heart Beats Loud eventually, what's up, Eddie? Yeah, I miss Brett too. I don't know what happened to him. Oh man. So anyway, so once Your Heart Beats Loud left or ended, I noticed Matt Props Live started to go away too, and other ones too started going away. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, wait, what? Like, it was so weird. And then I said, you know what? Let me create my own community page. I didn't know at the time what I was doing, so I would hit up Brian Edwards and I was like, hey, Brian, like, how does this stuff work? And he was, you know, so there was this unwritten rule that, you know, you don't go over another person's live or whatever. I don't know if that still applies today, but that's basically what it was. So I started doing my first episodes just, but first it started off with just me going live because I went live. So I was able to go live with Natalie on Your Heart Beats Loud. That was my first actual live that I went with her. I guess she wanted to introduce me or whatever the case was. And then I started doing my own lives on my page, and it just became what was my page into, it became a you know, community page. But it's so funny because my lives, okay, if this is Jam Them Down, my page, then Jam Them Sessions was the name of the show. That's how Jam Them Sessions live became about, which we have 3 seasons of that before we rebranded.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happened. And then little by little, I eventually started having members, and then Robin Liors came in, Z Zalinsky came in, Amanda Springs came in. She goes by, I don't know her, I don't even know how to pronounce her name, but I think her name is Ash Leparo, but she goes by Ash Gypsy, and she played the ukulele and stuff like that. So it just became this thing. Oh, Mike Hendricks, there was a woman from India that was part of that page for a little bit. And little by little, it just became that. And Ink Sessions Live eventually, pretty much Jam Them Down was rebranded as Ink Sessions Live. And that's pretty much what happened. And then little by little, I would, you know, certain people would leave, but then I would get more members. But I feel like the minute we rebranded from Jam Them Down to Ink Sessions Live, I think that was the beginning of the end. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not bashing anybody because it's whatever. But it's one of those things, like, eventually it came down to, okay, we had creative differences, you know, and then things started to happen. I remember Robin's father had a stroke. I remember she put it on her page. Z was going through some mental health stuff, and so was Ash. And it was just me and Amanda at one point. And then I had another person come in. Then I had Molly come in with this other guy named George. And then it was just the beginning of the end. And then I had stopped doing the podcast for a little bit, and then I brought back the podcast. And then it was like on and off hiatus. So then one day I just decided, you know what? I'm going to just, you know, screw it. I'm going to just do this podcast this time around, and that's just the end of it. I don't know how this was. And then that's when I met you, which is interesting because you had put a post up, and I was like, okay, this was the sign that I needed to do something. And then you and I interacted, and here we are. You're pretty much one of my co-hosts as well. So it's you, me, and Leon. And it's just so, you know, it's just been awesome. It's been a great experience so far.
Great. So I'm hearing feedback on my end. Are you hearing feedback on your end? Because if it's just my end, I'm good. I don't know if anybody out there is hearing any like echo. It could just be me. I don't have headphones on this time because I think last time I was low. But it's okay. Just if anybody out there is hearing a nasty sound, could they just let me know? Because I don't want to sound nasty for you guys. Because we're going to get into
Oh, no. You sound fine. Right, you sound fine.
Andy here, he has interviewed me online for the first time for my first podcast here. Thank you so much for the feedback. Because again, you let us know what we can do here to make your experience just as enjoyable as the experience I'm having right freaking now. Because I did my first interview here with Andy a couple weeks ago, like almost like a month and a half ago, which was awesome. Then we did our first co-hosting interview of Arthur, which was also super good. Went on very long because the conversation was so great, and we didn't even cover really his whole album. And I know we're going to get into that. I know he's got a new release coming up with some really cool stuff. So I know we're going to schedule a part 2 interview, and now we're doing our first live read of some poetry from that time period, and specifically that hashtag. So I think it's about time we get in some poetry because we have that.
Yes.
I think we're kind of doing a little retro, kind of an ode to that old time. And I think what we found kind of in that archive, that God, it sucked then, just like it sucks now. And also there's some good imagery there. And I think we're also hearing from people that we want to get together. And next week, if you're with us this week and want to join us next week, we're looking into, I think we're going to kind of do an open mic thing.
Yes. That's episode 8 is an open mic live, so all is welcome.
So if you have a friend out there that wasn't able to make it tonight, but definitely is interested in the open mic kind of thing, I think that's kind of an homage to the Black Widow poet you
Yes.
had the other day, because she's really lighting up Nashville with those live ones. So
Yeah.
like an
Oh yeah.
to the poetry houses from the
Yes.
2019 era. Next week we're gonna do live reads, open house, coffee house, but virtually, and that's hopefully again. Please join us if you join us this week, or find a friend, bring them. Community. So, do you want to kick it
Yes.
off?
Let's make this happen.
Yeah. Do you want to kick it off?
Yes, I will start off. So it's funny because I talked about Your Heart Beats Loud, and this first poet I'm gonna read. I actually met her through Your Heart Beats Loud.
Cool.
So her user handle name is A Guerrero 1022. That's Adriana. One thing I could say about her.
Back in the day, when I first came in, she was one of the first people.
Yeah.
I didn't connect with many people, but I freaking connected with her. That's great. Tell me more.
If you wanna talk about mental health, and anxiety, this woman, she is all of that. Like the way she talks about these things on her pieces and the way she breaks them down, it is like, this woman is such a beautiful soul. I haven't spoken to her in a while. I don't know if she's still around, but hopefully I can tag her later on.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I don't know, but she was so cool.
Adriana, so good. Anybody else out there remember Adriana? I know she was great.
Yes. Oh my gosh. She was everywhere. I remember she went live for the first time, and I even told her, like, I was so proud of her because she was so scared to do that. And I was like, you got to step out of that comfort zone. I remember that conversation. I'll never forget it. And she actually did it. And I was so proud of her for that.
All right. So Adriana, let's go for it.
All right. So it's called Welcomed Hallucination. Okay. Silhouettes of us, cares and shadows. In the smoke and mirrors of my mind, your hands wander and tracing the all of me. The all of me wanting every ounce of you, and all how I do. Ache and crave the all that is you. Mirage aren't real, and in these visions. Oh, I'm sorry. Mirages aren't real. But in these visions, everything you possess, I can feel. And the you, the me, the we, thoughts linger, and I just can't help myself. Not with you, but what to do. Be mine, Valentine. Be wet, Valentine. Hallucination.
I mean, wow. Come on. I hope we bring her back. I hope that is just a call to her. We're bringing back the community. And not that it was gone, but I know there's still community pieces that have been around, but we're all feeling kind of the loss from the COVID break. I know I took a dip out, and coming back, it still feels like I haven't fully been all the way back, even though I'm doing way more than I've ever done now. But hopefully we bring her back. That's great.
Yes.
And that just for recollection's sake, everybody, that actually is one of our most recent ones. That's from, looks like, I think that was from February 13th, 2022.
Okay, so it's last year.
No, but still,
okay.
That's kind of like at the end of the coming back from COVID times, and you're seeing kind of that feelings that are kind of being represented, even though it's about all month holiday as well.
Mermaid Ballad says, let's get a petition going. Adriana, come back. Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
I love it.
If you guys aren't following us, if you're not following me, or you're not following her, or you're not following Angela, please follow us so you get more updates. Let's try to break the algorithm. That is my goal with this. And let's just really get together. Just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, back to the show.
In order for me to keep making my own shit, I love seeing like the incredible work from everybody else. So the more work everybody else puts out there, it just drives work. So the algorithm, heck yeah, but work drives work. The creative process drives more creativity. And I think next time when we talk with Arthur, I would like to bring up like the AI art thing and the AI music and stuff like that. It's not time for now because, again, to think, oh my God, computers are taking our jobs too. But if we come back as a community, they can't take it away because we're going to be able to really call out what's happening,
Amen.
our experiences. So my first person that I'm going to bring up, and again, I don't necessarily have a connection with all the people that we are bringing up, but it's just so great to even meet more poets that were around this time period. I have a really quick short one from Mountains Made of Steam, and then we're going to go right into another one from the same person because the first one's very short. Our first one's from March 19th, 2021. It's called Morning Mist. Tender drop of unsung dew along the blade of meadow rue. I vanish slow, you pass right through my offered soul, so haunt me true. Do that. I can't write so simply and just like, I mean, how many words, how many lines?
I wish I could write like that.
Jealous of that. I'm so jealous of all the writers out there that are so able to just be so crisp with just that boom, 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 3 words each, pretty much, and only just mediocre amount of lines, just 8 lines, and it just packs such a punch. It's also from our same poet, again, Mountains Made of Steam. This one here is from May 17th, 2020. So kind of after that COVID punch, but we still don't know what the bleep's going on. And it has nothing to do with COVID because this is an ode to Persephone from Hades. I love a Persephone piece. I always kind of relate really hardcore with Persephone's, Hades, any kind of Greek stuff. So again, the same poet as before. A moment alone with you, of which I do implore. The grim design of destiny shakes me to my core. Your softly tendered fields bringing forth vibrant display. Yet this begets my torment, for in this realm I cannot stay. Chains of burden shackle, often lost to circumstance. But will I ever truly live? Should I refuse this chance? Your pacifying presence spurs warmth in heart once cold. The gods themselves defied, no matter legends told. The very breath from my lips, yours if you so desire. Let us banish what's expected and be all what we require. The seeds of new beginning, our mythos now set free. I request your hand in mine to be my Persephone.
Wow, that's awesome. And then what's the handle for that one?
I'll put it in the chat as well. That was Mountains Made of Steam _. So I'll add that to the chat, everybody. And hey, everybody that's joining us. So grateful for everybody joining us for our just live read. This is kind of paying homage to that 2019 nostalgia.
Yeah.
The in-house readers where we're reading some hashtag poetry, bringing back Friday Night Friends. So thank you guys. I'll put that again in the chat. So we just read 2 back-to-back from Mountains Made of Steam. Both just incredible. One with just a packing a punch with just a few words. So jealous, just not my style. And then the other one also very just well-versed, great rhyming meter. And of course, I love, Greek allegory stuff. I don't know if everybody else out there loves that kind of stuff.
No, I get you. Oh man, see, this is like already. I feel like we're back. I'm telling you, we're back. We're at a warp zone. We're back in 2019, 2020 again. Like I'm telling you, it's freaking amazing. Like
nobody had anything to do Friday night like me. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, I love the advertising. You're not doing.
I'm not doing anything.
Oh my god, that's so awesome. Okay. So this person, I interacted with her a few times, and this is during like when I was doing open mic lives every week, and then that's why I want to go back into doing the open mics. I feel like there's definitely a high demand for that, and I really, really want to push for that more than ever. So now, especially now. So yeah, guys, if you're just tuning in, next Friday at 9 o'clock, we are going to have an open mic live, and hopefully from there we can have a little bit more open mics. I definitely want to start doing that more than ever. And this time won't be by myself. Be me and Angela. If she's not busy, then it will definitely be the one hosting. Because you could do 4 people now, which is crazy on this Instagram.
I didn't do
And
before.
what happened?
I've never done this before, so like this is hilarious that I'm getting a chance to do this now.
No, absolutely. Again, it's an honor and a privilege to do this, and for you to join me with doing this. I'm honored and privileged to do this. So thank you for joining me with doing this. And it's like, here we are, like 2023 is a year. What is it? Year of the rabbit.
Yep. Yeah.
The year of the rabbit season, guys.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this person, her name is Cassie Fielding. Oh, I can't even pronounce her name. I am so sorry, Cassie. Don't kill me. Fielding. So her handle is Cassie underscore Fielding. Fielding underscore poetry. Yes. Wow. I am so sorry.
For anybody who's not auditory, I will enter that in the chat.
Okay. What's up, Stephanie Lamb Poetry? Oh, check out her Quill Keepers, guys.
Yes.
Please, if you want to publish books and stuff, check her out. A beautiful soul. She's one of those people I also interacted with when back in 2019, 2020 with Your Heart Beats Loud. Her and Nat used to always read poetry, and her and Brad and everybody. So check out Quill Keepers. That's what she's working on, the publishing company, and there are books. I think there's a book that came out called The Matador's Wife, I think it's called. I think she accidentally tagged me on it as a contributor. I have no idea, but yes. Yeah, so I just wanted to, so check out Quill Keepers, guys.
Team in the audience. I'm sorry, it's not even just about me. Andy, I love it. I'm being sexually harassed in the chat. You got to know we're back. It's back to pre-2019 and never.
Yeah, buddy. Yo, we got
going with poetry. Yep. Who knew?
Yes. Okay. So this is Cassie. All right. So I'm gonna read this. So this is Cassie underscore Fielding underscore poetry. So I don't want to, because she has a lot of big words in her poetry, which I love. But it's like there's like a flow that this piece has. So I was like, okay, please, I don't want to mess this up. So okay, let's do this. I can do this. Come on. All right. Watch me move trains with the roll of my eyes, lagging motion with a far off stare in. Making meters out of light years. Watch me, you who watches from edges up high and talks of talking. Which of us will step forward for pavements while I slow drop through? Subtleties of harmonies. No neck head bobbing over moorlands seat from shoulders all pointy chin and smile, or the wall of flower skull familiars. The face of blue and orange chants. Hold on, we go to the next page. Am I listening to forever? It breathes and drums more than a fireplace anarch. More than you who talks of dying and thinks the overseers of the collection of us, of creation, of vibration, of the first dream. Watch me as I invent idea. I can show you. I can show you what it is you watch. I can show you who it is who watches. If you would stop watching and fall asleep with me. Yo. I sent her a message. I told her I was going to read her piece tonight. Hopefully she made. If not, I'll tag her in the replay. But this woman, when I first did my first open mic live, which is available on the podcast. I don't have the replay anymore, but I have it's on the first season on the podcast. So check it out. I only have 2 open mics there, first and the second one actually. When I first met this woman, she read a piece. I'm trying to remember exactly what piece it was, but she had this flow, like she was just there. It's like and she, no messing up, no nothing. I'm just like, oh shit. Like the way she reads, the way she recites, the way she writes, that woman is fucking phenomenal. Like I fucking love her. That was Cassie Fielding, guys. Follow her. Oh my God. I was so happy to read this piece. And I was like, oh my God, to honor her, I don't want to mess this up.
You did a great job honoring her words. Her name is in the chat. If you did not get that, we'll put that back out there because, yeah, that was too incredible to not add her name again.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, yes. Oh, if anyone interacts with her, let her know she's being read tonight. Let her know, like, follow her. Tell her that Andy and Angela sent you guys.
Yeah. We're resurrecting amazing, incredible poets, and then we're also honoring these incredible poets that are still with us. And again, open night next week. Please join us. Tell your friends. Tell people who don't care about poetry. Trick them. I don't care. Let's just have them come out because it's fun. It's like karaoke. It's like a comedy club. It's just fun.
Oh my God.
The next one I got for everybody is a name I definitely recognize, and that is Dark World. And I'm putting that in the chat because, again, I don't know if I'm speaking clear enough. We got some good audio feedback from our friends in the chat room. And I think, yep, that's right. All right. So the one I have for everybody tonight, real quickly, from this incredible poet that I hope the name just went out. There it goes. Is Reflection. I have this thing about windows. There's always two sides. Even though it all seems clear in the beginning, as time passes, light fades from outside, one sees yellow linoleum kitchens, striped pajama families, dancing to Pharrell's Happy, women in flannel, cleaning leaves of orchids, glowing HD screens, streaming Disney Plus and Apple TV, or just empty rooms of bookshelves and photographs, white porcelain birds near flower arrangements, sitting on table runners of matching color, but only in the light is their reflection, a mirror image of the midnight sun's incandescent fixture, a mirage of self, gazing into the night towards indistinct but familiar terrain, looking for explanation of all that lies behind or within, looking for what was lost when so much was gained. Mirror image and midnight sun.
Yo, I remember Dark World too. I don't know if he still uses that
Again,
user
yeah.
that, because I know sometimes like I think he goes under a different, I think he has another page that he does, but like I think his name was Adam, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but he's very phenomenal writer, and I haven't seen stuff from him in so long. But yeah, that is amazing piece, man. I'm telling you, we're back in time.
Incredible writers that, again, like people we just like may have missed or slipped through because, again, you're only necessarily seeing what you're seeing, or you're only on at a certain point. You know, there's been so many international writers that, wow, like that's the kind of amazing part of being part of this age where we get to get exposed to that. So who do you next? Yeah. I'm going to put a question out for everybody in the chat. Like if they have any more recommendations of incredible writers that we might not be reading tonight, but just put out in the chat, you know, put their name out there. So who's the next on your agenda?
Okay. So this is my first time reading this. I saw this in the I saw this in the Jamdom Sessions hashtag. So I had to give a shout out to mode.poetry. That's like I think they're not active anymore, but they were a community page, and I noticed they were using that hashtag to do their thing. I was like, okay, cool, even better, because now I can even look at more stuff. So definitely for sure. So all right, so I'm gonna write it here. So hold on, let me type it up here on the computer. Wait, does it give me the option to do? Oh, right, hold on.
So I went ahead.
So this is the. I can't pronounce. So it's IGNOVION, right?
I saw this one today. I don't think I saw this one originally. This is a good one. I'm glad you're doing this one.
Okay, so the name of the person is RC Perez. It's a very short one. It's called The Other Kind. So let me just zoom this up very quickly. Okay, The Other Kind. Strength resides in you most days. It's meant for war sometimes. It's simply for survival. There is no shame in calling it a day. Even the strongest beast know when it's time for deep slumber, but they always come back to life. Yo,
I,
that is, oh,
it's a talent. It's a
that is wow.
don't possess the ability to just be so punchy with just so few powerful words and just the way you put it together.
Yeah.
So the next one too, I'm with you, Andy. I might not say this one correctly as well. It's, I think, Scott Athen Winslow.
Oh, okay.
Correct? Am I saying that one correctly? I think that's right.
Yeah, yeah, I know you're talking about though. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, he hasn't. I haven't seen Scott in a while either. Now that you like,
Woo, Resurrection.
yes, him and there was another guy I used to follow. He used to be around. His name is Larry the Poet. He's not around anymore either.
Oh my gosh, we got to get him back.
Yeah.
Doing that tonight by reading there. So there's two really quick ones that I'm going to go back to back. I know I said scat. I thought I could get that through, Carly. Of course, Carly Marie's going to tell me that I said scat. Oh my gosh. You don't even know. I've had so many gaffes so far. But anyways, Scott Athen Winslow. The first one, again, I like to give the time period because we are back in time a little bit, is from September 2nd, 2020. And the other one is from August 9th, 2020. So the same time period. We're into the COVID summertime, so we're not sure if we're out of it. But again, there's a lot of mental health. This one, there's a lot of hashtags involved with bipolar disorder and hashtag BPD. So again, we know there's a lot of mental health that was coming out back in 2019. There was a lot of mental health community members that were able to reach out to people and understand that, hey, I'm not alone. Because, you know, a lot of us are writers because we're trying to build a craft or a style or, you know, try to put some sort of artistic, you know, whatever. And then there's people out here that are utilizing it as a way to deal with some real fucked up shit that they needed to deal with. And it's a way to cope emotionally and it brings people together. And I think it's a great thing to use things because, you know, I have my own, you know, let's call them demons or whatever, and to, so to speak, and to take something so dark and to kind of twist it into something beautiful. Like that's art to me. That's why, you know, I think we feel the way we feel is to make these beautiful things. So again,
Amen.
Mental health in 2019, it fucking a lot of mental health is going on right now, but I want to go ahead and hit these two real quick back to back. So again, fall and summer of the 2020. I tried to ignore your aura, but it grabbed me by the hand. Like the moon pulls the tide and the tide pulls the sand with immolation. In the fires, I crucified my bitter self like the scars that fade or the coral shelves, flourishing into something new beneath the cold waves, bringing colors in life. I found a new way, and I found it in your light. It took me by the hand like the currents pull warmth, like the tide pulls the sand. That was the first one. Our second one,
okay,
I'm going with a different kind of punchy, but again, these short that really carry these kind of emotional timbre. All right, here we go. Please, I feel disconnected, lacking faith and introspection. Operator, put me through to the human race. I don't want to hang up. Can you help me? This was a really hard day. Could you listen? Everyone has drugs, but mine won't kick in. I take all my pills, divided by color and size. Broken halo, but everything's fine. I want to run away and beat myself to death. But if I were to stay, would I feel happiness? Please. I'm malcontented, lacking health and mindfulness.
Wow. There's a lot of people even today that could relate to that with everything that's going on in this world too. Like that is wow.
That was August 9th, 2020, but that could have been August 9th, 2023. That could have been to 2/24/23. That could have been written today. A lot of people are freaking yeah. I mean, the chat is they are loving it. They feel it. They know this, and this is why we're back together again today to go to bring this. We're here for the art. We're here for the therapy. We're here for the connection. We're here for the community.
Yeah.
For it all. So who do you got for us next? I will put their name in the chat.
Okay. All right. hold on. Let me X out what I've read already so I don't get
Great.
confused. Okay. So this one is a very interesting piece. So the user handle for this one, she goes by S_K_Mustafa, I think.
This was a big one.
And
That I remember this one for sure. I
yes, yeah, I was gonna say she has been through a lot. Where she used to go live with, I think Entwined was. Oh no, it's Savant Poetry. I always forget these. That's when I first started hearing these community pages.
Mhm.
But that woman is such a strong fucking soul. Like, oh my god. Like, you talk about being that woman is. Oh my god. So this piece, hold on, let me see something. So she wrote this on August 11th, 2022, but the piece was published in 2018. And this was about, it says today, yeah, her daughter would have been 15 years old at that time if she was still alive. You know, it's funny because it was through her I met another woman who went by the name of Stacy Conventry. That was another poet I used to interact with a lot. So this piece is called As the Angels Played. And as the angels played, one fell into my arms, breaking her wing along the fall. Taking her into my home, I tried to help, my human strength too weak to fix an angel. I held her hand and loved her and loved her and loved her until the day he called her back home. She is free now. Her wing has healed. Oh my god. Whew. Yeah. Wow. Um, I don't know her actual. I just call her SK. I'm not sure what her actual name is, but if you're listening, I will get in contact. I will send her a message eventually after this live. If you are listening, if you ever hear this, thank you so much for displaying your vulnerability to us like that, because that's heavy and it's real. It's because my wife, when she before me and her were together, we were friends, whatever. She had her previous marriage had gotten to a miscarriage, and just the pain of that, I could never understand that. I will say this to this day, and I told my coworker this earlier today, how my wife, so when you go through like the miscarriage, you're in the hospital, so they take notes of everything. She still has the notes till this very day. Every minute, every hour, what was going on, what was she doing, what was she screaming about, what they did to calm her down, like every little thing. Like, I can't even read that. Like, it was one of those, yeah, no, I think I'm gonna just like, it's insane. But it's like that. I could never understand that pain. And I thought I was going to go through that with my son, because my son technically was a miracle child, technically speaking. And they kept saying, oh, we don't know if he's going to make it. Or there was that fear that even though she was able to go through her 9-month pregnancy, but there was that fear that he might be a still baby and this and that. And there was so many things. And then, because even when he came out the womb, like, he wasn't even yet crying yet. So right there, I was like, oh God, like, no.
Is stop. You're not breathing until you hear them breathing for the first time.
Yeah. And once he started crying, like, oh my God, yes.
And I mean, there are a lot of people out there that are not parents, and that is great, for sure. And you can still experience loss, from family or friends. But that kind of loss is just so difficult. I know a lot of us out there lost a family member, whether it's a parent, but of course, being a parent and losing a child, or, miscarriage too, a child that you had, and especially, you have people, or people you read about who, carry full term, and then right as they're delivering, knock on just things, that horrible things happen. And unfortunately, I think that was in the chat, the pain is something that we all understand.
Oh yeah. That's funny because on the latest episode of the podcast, episode 6, I had Carlos Medina. It was Carlos Medina, and he said that pain is a universal language. And he actually just wrote that on the chat. Yes,
Yes.
pain is a universal language. Absolutely.
And so yeah, it's what unites us, but also at the same time breaks us apart. So that's why I think, again, I'm gonna use the word preach, and I'm gonna use the word preaching community, and I'm just so thankful that we have so many people that have come out tonight, even though we've had people that have reached out saying I just can't make it tonight. Just the fact that there's been a lot of support for this, and I'm glad that it's getting fed here. I hope you're getting fed, Andy, that we're doing this and we're doing this right. And I'm glad we need a kind of little of a palate cleanser after that emotional piece. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to go ahead again. That time period, it was a rough time period, even though we're still feeling some of the effects now. I have 2, again, kind of really short, but they're 2 separate ones. I'll put both of them in the chat after I go through them. But these are both names that I definitely recognize from around the block, so to speak. I have at Kate Quinn Poetry for the first one, and the time period is going to be January 9th, 2021. And then I have at Scribbles and Sage from August 12th, 2020. So they're kind of short.
All right.
I'm going to do them back to back. Do you have something you want to say about either?
Yeah, I just want to point something out. No, sorry. Something that was said on it, because, I want to make sure, people have comments. So I want to really acknowledge the comments. One thing, hold on. How do I pin comments? Okay. She says, she was talking about Mustafa. She said that she once told me our grief never goes away. We learn to grow around it. She's a beautiful soul. Yes, I definitely agree with you with that, Stephanie. And that's, it's funny. I've learned that a lot with my dad once my father passed away. I know that's to me personally. It's interesting how you learn so much more about yourself and you learn so much about your family after they pass on. And it's crazy to me because everything I didn't understand as to why my dad was the way he was with his family, now I understood after he passed away. Like everything that he said, how they were, and all their true colors came out. And I was like, wow, now I see why my dad was the way he was. Now I understand. But it sucks that I had to take for my dad to pass away for me to understand that. And one thing somebody told me a long time ago, the pain don't hurt as much, but that pain never really goes away, if that makes sense. It's always it's just an ongoing learning process. That's something I've learned through my dad's past death. And it's funny because not next week, but the following week is actually his anniversary. I remember when I'll never forget that night because it was like 4 a.m. I remember my mom my mom waking me up. I slept in the living room and she was just taking care of my dad, sleepless nights. And I remember she's told me, I think your dad's breathing funny type of thing. And the minute I walked into that room, took his last breath, I heard the last breath taken. Mm-hmm. And it was just one of those things it doesn't hurt as much anymore. There's not a day I don't think about it, because when I went to Puerto Rico in his grave last year, for my birthday weekend, I felt like I actually got the closure I needed from that. So I'm actually at peace knowing that, what I thought was going to happen didn't happen. And it was one of those things I'm good. I'm peace. He's eating at the Lord's table. And I'm good now. I don't feel like I have to owe anything to anyone or to anything anymore, if that makes sense. And I think that's what I needed. I needed that trip, and that just brought me and my older brother closer than we've ever been because of that. And it's just me and him just having conversations that I would have never thought years ago we would have had those conversations. And it was just good to know that something like that can teach us a lot about ourselves, about the surroundings, and it gives us perspective of things. And it's crazy how just like that someone could just vanish, and it's insane.
Absolutely. And it's never easy. It's no matter when it happens, the circumstance, the age you are, the age of your family member, it's always a difficult process, whether it's a snap overnight or it's somebody who has gone through a long-standing illness to the point where even though you're at the point where you don't want to lose your loved one, but they're at the, their quality of life is so poor that you're just hoping that they're at peace, and then they're gone, and you're still at that ripping moment of, gosh, I want them back. So I've been very blessed so far as to not lose a parent yet. I know that's something that's going to happen to me soon, and I thank you for sharing the fact that I know that's coming up for you. How long ago? I know that there was some sort of like coming back together with your dad, like there was some good moments leading into right before he had gone for you, correct?
Yeah, so it's interesting because the good thing about that is during that time, when he was still able to walk, he did come to Christ. And, just those 5 years before all that, I was able to build a relationship with him when before I didn't have a relationship with my father. Do I wish I had more? Yeah, but it is what it is. And, I can honestly say my father was able to do everything he ever wanted, because the thing is, my father died 3 months after I got married.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much. And it was after I came back from the honeymoons when we found out that what he had was cancer. Like, that's pretty much what it was. He had stage 4 of pancreatic cancer. And it was just one of those things, like, the minute he took his last breath, what pretty felt like a long time was really a couple of seconds, but just, I don't know how I got through that, because just me trying to calm my mom down, I don't know what it was, and I'm like, Lord, you must think I can handle this, because I'm the youngest of the three, and this should be my brother and my sister dealing with this, not me. Like, I don't know how I was able to get through that. I remember I could tell you so many things that happened. I remember when they came to take my father's body, and I had to like stand behind the door so whoever's in my old bedroom pretty much didn't see that, and they're crying, and then my mom's crying, and my brother's in that room by himself, and he's watching them putting the thing in the body bag to grab the body, and I'm just like, yo, bro. And I look at my brother to this day, bro, I don't know how you were able to experience that, because that is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, in a body bag, and it's crazy, because the most beautiful thing that happened after that, even while he was already dead there, and they're saying their goodbyes, and we always talk about this in my family, there was these white pigeons that just flew onto the window. So like, it is the most craziest, most beautiful thing I ever saw. I took that as, okay, this is the Holy Spirit, and he's just letting us know, hey, he's in good hands now. That's the way I took that in a spiritual sense. Mm-hmm. But it was one of those things like, oh my, like on the windowsill, like they're just standing it's freaking insane.
I have heard before that birds are definitely some sort of sign a lot of the times, especially when it comes to people that have passed, that usually birds will be right around. I've heard a lot of people talking about when they've recently lost somebody to look for birds, or birds will come.
Yeah, so it was a white pigeon, like pure white pigeon. There was like 5 of them on the windowsill. It was crazy. I was like, wow, like, oh my God. And that, I took that as, you know what? All right, Lord, I understand. Like, I get it.
We're going to have to do a night, I think. We're going to have a night where we bring the tissues, and then we go through everybody's, let's have everybody's sad night, because people need to go through it. I think it's cathartic, and it's important, because again, that's a human experience that we all share and we all struggle with, but nobody wants to open up and talk about it. But again, you take so much from that. And then if you can then, of course, again, a little bit selfish with the poetry art situation here, but then again, we can put in these creative fields where we can share that and preserve that, and we pass these things that we have learned on to the next generation, and then we've taken what we've learned from the past and their struggles and their messages. Like you said, during this time, a lot of people's colors showed, but these were the colors that we have known had been there for a long time. This wasn't new. People showing their colors was not new. It just was so fucking in your face. That's what made it interesting. And then going into that COVID time, it was so in your face that finally people that couldn't ignore it anymore couldn't ignore it anymore. And that was, and then
oh yeah,
that it took take this long to even say. not okay, because again, how much more has changed? Not much more, but again, we're going in the right direction because at least more people are at least cognizant of it. But again, we're talking about the 2020s, 2021s, and 2019s, even though we're not much past that. And
Yeah.
we went to some sad, deep, and personal, but that's the point. That's what this is all about. That's the human experience. So,
Amen.
back. Our first one from Kate Quinn Poetry, Poets Paradise. The year is yellow and young, the fireflies waltzing on the chamber of cicada symphonies, and we are feasting on fresh fruits, letting the juices, plum, peach, mango, spill down our chins. We are sticky with it. We swallow the pits, drown them in storms, rub tendons, spark bones, like see now you got me, kindling to combust our own suns until poetry blossoms out from our lungs, our pores, taste buds of our tongues. Look how we swell moon golden with our dulcet songs. Okay, Quinn is how they signed that one. I love that dulcet.
Wow.
That's one of my favorite words. Dulcet tones, it just sounds dulcet-y. And then we have here, of course, at Scribbles and Sage, August 12th, 2020. And this, the first line, I love it because it sounds so much like us, Andy. I stay up late. I stay up late to dance with the dark, fill my belly full of thoughts, chase hope into the dawn. I stay up late sometimes. Sometimes I wait for someone to speak. I hear only night and her creatures, a chorus of crickets and the wind through single pane windows. My ghosts howl in the distance. My lungs drink in resistance, press air, fill my blood with serene blues and violet light. I see my aura in the nightshade of the willow. I steep in solace and know it's not a dream.
Wow. Amen. Wow. I think a lot of us can relate to that, for sure.
Stay up late, for sure. All of that.
Oh, man.
I know.
And so,
Carly Marie's still out there. We both know we just love to just be up late, and I think we both. She's like my kindred. I call her my kindred soul, my kindred spirit, even though we've never been the same location. But like, I think we both love to just be out late at night and just like sing to the moon by ourselves. I think we're always out there at the same time, even though not.
amen.
Word. You're laid out.
All right.
You got.
Okay, so this next piece is by a poet. I was talking about Zillium poetry earlier. I'm actually going to read a piece from him. Oh, and I found the video. Hold on, stupid old phone. So this was, okay. Not my Wi-Fi. Conveniently, my Wi-Fi does not want to work. Go fuck yourself. Like, man. Okay, my Wi-Fi. Okay, here we go. So this was when Poets Anonymous was a thing. Come on.
There it is. It's moving.
All right. Next person I'm reading is at Jam Them Down.
And this was.
They're a fellow Jersey writer.
But it's so crazy. I only showed you that because this was the first time that my piece was written, and it's so crazy to think like, wow, like I'm looking back now like, oh my God, like, and it's funny, now I'm reading his piece right now. So it's called A Fraction of a Second, and this is Zillium Poetry. Hold on, let me go back over here. His handle is Zillium_poetry. Okay, it's called A Fraction of a Second. Okay, wait, let me just say hi to some people first. You know,
That's great.
Yeah, guys, if you just joined in, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Even if you're just dropping by for a couple of seconds, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, so it's called Fraction of a Second. Okay. Sex will never be destigmatized. Skin will never be desexualized. Humans will always want humans. We long for touch, and touch we do. We look We like, we crave, we yearn, we fuck, we fight, we crash, we burn. We give ourselves away, asking something in return. We repeat our mistakes, but seldom ever learn. We fall in love after we told ourselves we wouldn't. Babe, I'll be your last if you'll only be my woman. But a hot minute passes and it goes up in ashes in a fraction of a sudden. Back at square one, realizing it ends as quickly as it begun.
Oh my gosh. That's so much love for our friend out in the chat too. Everybody loves hearing that one too.
Yeah, he needs to come back to this guy, Zillion Poetry.
Some candles, some sands. I'll get the crystals out. We're resurrecting the spirits. I love it.
Yes.
Well, the next one we won't have to resurrect, Andy, because this one actually is out in the chat tonight. So they're actually still here. So this is going to keep them around. I have for us Edward Reese tonight.
I love that guy. Yes, I do have an episode on an interview with him. Check it out if you have not checked it out already. So guys, tune in.
So this one here is around the same time period, January 2020. So this is like right before COVID kind of hits us. Like, okay, we're kind of maybe like it's just hitting globally some mish, like things are happening, but in these states, not until like February. So this is right before that kind of happens.
Yeah, February. Yes, that was an interesting time because March 20th, at least in New York, that's when they officially said, okay, we're going to get shut down. Like, okay.
Yes. Oh my.
Edward's like, I would promote that interview. I swear, Andy.
He's so good. He's powerful as a word, but this here, what I was going to say too, because I, in my real world, in the education field, we went home one night and we just never came back. It was like, take your stuff in the middle of the night, and it was never again. And it was like, kind of, what the fuck happened? But again, before this happened, but again.
But you know what's crazy though? Because I'm originally from New York. So I remember when they said, okay, hey, just go home. Just going, because I like to walk. I said, let me just walk to Times Square. I never seen Fifth Avenue and I've never seen Times Square so empty in my life. I saw maybe one or two people at max walking around with masks on. One of them had gloves on. I never seen Times Square so quiet, so empty.
So the
way that was, because that was ridiculous. Like I was like, oh shit.
You were actually living in New York at the time during this period?
I worked in New York. So what happened was I lived in New York my entire life, and then when I got married, I moved in with my wife in Bayonne, New Jersey. That's where I live now. I live in Bayonne, and we lived in a 1-bedroom. Now I live in a 3-bedroom with this is like my office man cave thing. And whatchamacallit, so basically around that time I don't want to say I was let go, but pretty much I was told, yeah, you just go home, there's nothing for you here, COVID-19's around. And that's pretty much what happened. And for 4 to 5 months I was pretty much at home collecting unemployment. And it's so crazy because I was already trying to figure out how to get out of my job because I was already miserable. So I feel like this COVID thing was a blessing in disguise for me. Because here I am working in retail. I mean, I can't really talk about where I work, but I think my company, they're weird with, media shit. So let's just say here I am. I'm an operations manager now. And it's just like, yeah, okay, like, cool, no problem. And it's just like, it was a blessing in the sky because I'm making more money in Jersey. You would think it'd be less, but the taxes are very, very low. So it's insane to think like, whoa, like, what was meant to be a disaster for me personally became a blessing in the sky in that sense. So it's but that time was weird because nothing was opened. And then when they started reopening little by little, it was like outside seating pretty much. And only a limit of 5 people in a restaurant or something like that. But it was outside seating. There was no indoor, or it was curbside pickup.
Only. Yeah, and I know that we're almost on the tail. I mean, pretty much on the tail end of it's more of a memory of those kinds of things. Because now it's like buy or be damned. We're in it now. We're here. But it doesn't always necessarily feel quite the same. But because again, just being separated for a song. But that's why I like what we're doing here today. So
Yeah.
I got Edward Racy out for everybody. And thanks for joining, Edward. I know we got some fans out there of Edward Racy as well. And again, there's an interview that he will promote eventually, friend. This one here, it's called Scavenger's Romance. And here we go. She ripped out my heart and swallowed it whole. It always seemed I'm so easily entranced. An endless wealth of dedicated sincerity. The favorite meal of a scavenger's romance. Wounded by my vulnerability, falling in love. Always an exercise in futility. A classic case of emotional gullibility. I sing the song of broken hearts, a moonlit masquerade, a midnight soliloquy. Can anyone hear my serenade? Will I ever find compassion's tranquility? She ripped out my heart and watched me die. A hopeless romantic, always willing to dance. An endless wealth of soulful transparency. The favorite meal of a scavenger's romance. Burdened by my oversensitivity. Looking for love, always ending with indignity. A classic case of emotional naivety. I cried these tears through humbled eyes. A lifelong love affair. Married to my misery. Can anyone feel my despair? Will I ever achieve the apex of my ability? She ripped out my heart and left me for dead. It always seems I'm a victim of circumstance, an endless wealth of honesty and devotion, the favorite meal of a scavenger's romance.
Wow. Yo,
Edward Racy.
Edward Racy, everybody.
Edward Racy. He's always that great poet out there.
Yes.
Got that.
Oh my God.
He's one who likes to
Wow.
formats, and then he really kind of almost turns them on their head, it seems. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Edward Racy, you are the man. You are the man, bro. Oh man.
Kind of a
Definitely.
We're a little bit already over our hour, so I definitely want.
That's fine. Wait. So no. I don't know if you're. I mean, I'm not out of time. I mean, I could do another hour max, but then I gotta go to bed after that. But
I just didn't want to. I didn't know. Okay, that was just a little behind the scenes. All right, who do you got for us then?
nah, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so this one is by Heather Writing. This is actually my first time knowing about her. Hold on, and this was featured on mode_poetry page, and yeah, so it's called Blessed Is She. So blessed is she, I'm reminded, blessed is she who burns bridges and wears ashes and smoke. Oh, the things I would burn under the new moon, gulping down the spicy air of long-awaited autumn, starlight falling into my wild hair, sighing, blessed is she. Blessed is she who prays ruin over her like a psalm, letting love ruin cloth you, and reap benediction from your mouth. Blessed is she who believes, who knows the path back home to your arms and walks its twisted, thickened in darkness, carrying the fire of your breath in her bones. Blessed is she. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I messed up something here, but yeah, it's
that nobody knows.
no, but this was wow, I love that. See, I love these words, these it's I wish I could write like that.
Yeah.
This is insane. I love that. Like she took something that could, because that's like when they say blessed is he or blessed, that's usually like a biblical, and she took something like that and turned it into a whole thing. It's freaking awesome.
And again, the use of repetition really punches in that kind of feeling, and that's kind of like how poets really kind of utilize those things to communicate, you know, whether it's a feeling they want us to express or a feeling they're just trying to get out. I have another amazing, incredible, like, boom, boom, boom. Sorry, there's a puppy coming through. That's a guest puppy. Sorry, was not expecting that. I have In the Ether poetry right here for everybody. And they have just such a hardcore way of writing that I truly cross my fingers, cross my fingers, hope I do this poet justice, this wordsmith here, because they like to go hardcore. Now, as somebody who's taught biology, this word in here, I had to do this one because I have a little bit of a I'm going to say ego, even though ego is not the right word, because I want to see if I could just drop this scientific chemistry word in with easy breeze. You'll hear it in a second, everybody. All right, this limbo, it's from February 12th, 2020. And I just dropped my pen. That's not a part of the poem. All right. Beethoven's for midnight, but it's 1:15 on a Sunday morning, somewhere between Elysium and Purgatory, and the methylene oxymethamphetamine is wearing off, so I take 2 more. She dances barefoot on eggshells, dresses in contusions, pirouette. Trip the light fantastic, pirouette, then bows before him. He lashes her again. I don't know where the fuck I am or how the fuck I got here, but I can't stop grinding my goddamn teeth. Drenched in sweat, chain smoking American Spirit, DJ Dove's playing Biggie as I suck down Heineken, acting on Verba and Shangri-La as everyone stumbles towards ecstasy, feeding each other pills. She comes running from the room, abrasive knees, bloody nose, swollen lips, her man's scuffed, knuckled pupils dilated, giving chase. He stares at me. The bitch took all my money. I stare back, finish my drink and walk away. I see her alone, on the stairs in the hall, fixing herself in a pocket mirror as I light another cigarette. Mind if I bum a smoke? The hallway smells like piss. We stare into the void, inhaling, exhaling. I'm grinding my teeth again. She laughs. Molly, she whispers, and I chew her up and swallow her down. And that's from In the Ether.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I've heard that. I said, wait. You said. I said, wait. That sounds familiar. Okay. I know exactly.
Aggressive, gritty, but yet it's not like gritty where it's like abrasive and like I don't want to be a part of this. It's gritty, abrasive, and I want to see where we're going through here. Where are we taking us on this like raw, nasty? Like, because again, I mean, like, we're talking about a bitch here, we're talking about some, drugs and some great stuff there. So in a way that's not abrasive to where it turns off the audience, it's abrasive to where like, wow, show me what this is with the way you really put words together. And I think that's just the incredible way that this artist, this poet does it. So again, I hope we've done justice for Ben, as we got a lot of fans out for In the Ether poetry as well. I love it.
Amen.
What we got for these friends out there. That's what I love. That's what I love about us.
Yes. Okay, so as far as the 2020 stuff, that was pretty much it, but I do have some other pieces that because some of them, the pages don't exist anymore for whatever the reason is, even though they were featured on Mold Poetry. But I do have a few that I did pick out to read. This next one is by Robert Kazi. Okay. Robert Kazi, author. So that's Robert Kazi. This is from his book Kaleidoscope of Colors 2, and it's called Every Shade of You. Okay. Browns, tans, brick red, and warm grays abound, along with the shaded green of baseball diamonds. Turquoise lives in your eyes when you are a haven of peace. But when you are a storm rolling in, colors are muted. I saw nothing but darkened gray, but subdued blue after our separation. You had been the yellow in this relationship, but now you are the shade capable of shutting me out of your glistening sunlight, leaving me to seek refuge in passed out, blackened sleep, under pale white covers, littered with cookie crumbs. 11 years later, every hue is reawakened. Suddenly, I see green and yellows again. Earthly tones emanate from each syllable of your message. White gloved hands, speckled with dusty brown baseball dirt, reach out of mine with the soft red delicacy of rose petals. I love Robert Kazi, man. His
Yeah.
If you want to know more about him, you could check out my first episode of is it season 2 or season 3? I think it's season 2. I gotta look back again. He is such a phenomenal writer.
Now,
Um,
I don't want to do what I did last time and put the raw, because with the Kazi, can you make sure you put that amazing writer's hashtag or name in the chat? Because if anybody caught the last time I was on, I put I put on a restaurant as opposed to a nice little publishing house. It was kind of great. Funny story, I ended up following them, and I'm like, why do I keep seeing this tavern on my feed with this food and all that stuff? It's because I had the wrong stuff. But Robert Kazi.
no, I got you. So it's Robert COZZIA.
Yes, I just want to make sure I had
author.
the next one.
I think I spelled it right. Yeah.
Good. I'm going to put it on you, not me this time. The next book I have for us is another one that might be another one that we might be resurrecting, because I don't think I've seen them out for a while, but I do remember this person being out at this time period. This one's from August 14th, 2020, and this is from the musings of Molly Maven. Is this another one of your old-timey people that you were speaking of?
Yes, actually, yes. Molly, yes. She went the later ending days of Ink Sessions Live. Yes, it was her and another guy by the name of George. I forget his username, but they were at the ending course, I guess, of Ink Sessions Live. That's when, again, like I said earlier, it was like the beginning of the end, and she was definitely part of that later on team with Pat Black Panda was the other guy. I think his name was, but he's not around anymore either. There's a lot of people that are not allowed around anymore. It's so funny because I was talking to Leon a while back, and there's one dude I used to follow. His name was Mike On. I think his name was David or something.
Yeah.
And he used to do Anti-Poetic Revolution, and he just disappeared, and it's like he ghosted everybody. I mean, for whatever reason, I hope everything's okay with him. But Leon, no one's really talked to him or nothing, but it's like he disappeared. It's like this guy was a phenomenal writer, a phenomenal human being. It's like, oh man.
Collabs with Mike on. And again, I didn't really get a chance to really collaborate with a lot of people when I first came through, but that was definitely one of them. Nice neck crack.
Oh, I need,
I'm so jealous. Sorry, that's totally off topic. So I have a nice one from our future from Molly here. And it starts off as such. Bottles, how they hold what we need inside. Staring in at that liquid courage, those numbing doses, my thoughts in their long goodbyes, glass, plastic, skin, break them, shake them, give my soul the whole of what begs within. And I'll always remember the farewells of December rooms of black cloth, crowding the remains of faded embers. I've walked these cold roads before, all the pebbles thrown at stones and bones. Under my feet they lay in soiled doors, adorning bullet wounds, necktie tombs, those breathless bound bodies. I will join them soon, missing sons of June, to wear the dirt that dances on mahogany. Oh, death, how you have kissed my lips. We fell in love, a tryst that grips. I have shed many tears, given many years, but my better moments will just scratch at walls. Tongues split, mouths will spit, only 1 second of my life to be recalled. And as I swallow my no tomorrow, the world turns despite such sorrow. So let them say all I was became this day, but I will count the petals plucked, the night so tight, warmed and tucked. the red blanket that burned him into me, the embrace that laced his charring arms to mine, heart race. How we cried at the finish line, miles of smiles that never were mine. They belonged to a girl I once knew, but these dusty mirrors won't get much clearer. I'm now made of glass. It shatters blue, a body empty, a covering coffin or dust confetti. I am nothing more and everything with the smell of smoke on my last breath. I choke to sing the letters of words which become death, a parting note that spoke of all the reasons why I fasted hope. A taste these jaws gladly soak. Yet they hang bare, unable to greet the stale air. Please know that I am home as the sky pulls me to fly. I've woven my wings, a refined magpie, no longer bottled by the tegment that ties. Some rest for the restless. This is why the dreamless die.
Wow,
I love a nice
the dreamless. I like that.
No,
Yeah.
the dreamers die.
That was good. That was phenomenal. I'm just trying to see the comments quick. I think wait, it looks like there was a joke somewhere. I missed it, but okay. Okay, whatever. Whatever it was, again, sure. I don't know because I see people laughing here. I was like, okay. Awesome. That was the. Oh, okay. I think she accidentally got kicked off. Hold on. Oh God. Hold on. Oh, wait. What happened here? Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Don't know what happened, guys. Okay.
It wouldn't be a night unless I had one ridiculousness. That was me. I didn't actually.
Okay.
What happened was I wanted to see what the joke was because I didn't see any laughing, and then I was.
No, because it just it's whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to see it too. I see that people laughing here on where is see, I can't see. I just see something, and then Edward was laughing at something. I don't know. It's like it says Carly and is laughing, but I don't know. I don't see it. Oh, whatever.
Edward and Carly Marie had to have known. Of course, it'd be Edward and Carly. It's very outrageous. I have one more for sure from the thing. How many more did you have? It wasn't a joke. I don't know what it was.
Oh, okay. I was trying to see what. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind then. Okay, so so I have two left, but they're not from 2020. This is just
selfish and just find one of mine from the hashtags. So I'll do that. So you go, me go, you go, and then I'll read one of mine because gotta self promote, right?
All right, no, it's fine.
You're welcomed. I'm just sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. It's all good.
So I didn't see it, but awkward opinions are always welcome.
I can't stop laughing. Oh God. All right. So okay, this one's kind of long, so I'm gonna try to be so this one is his name is Jairo Diablo. I interacted with him when he first started. I was the one I reached out to him and we became good friends. If you don't know who he is, he does a lot of surrealism and he interacts a lot with Cassie Fielding and Hectorverse is another guy that they interact and they do a lot of sonnets, they do a lot of surrealism, they do a lot of just pieces together and so I don't know if people are going to understand his writing, but I just love the wording he uses in his pieces. And then also he does painting too, like surrealist painting. Check out his page for that. It's cool. I'm actually getting two of them off him that I'm going to buy off him and stuff. So I know where to put it in my office too. So listen, Jairo, I don't know if you'll see this replay, but I am plugging your shit like whoa right now, bro.
I love it.
Okay, so the handle is DEALBA poetry. So actually, let me write it. So it's J Diablo, and he is from Spain, so that's why he has a Spanish name. Okay. Da, da, da. Okay, so it's called I Am the Reason We Are Not Reasonable. Okay, so thoughts speak like words sing and air. She glitters under the reading soul, and nothing sparks a sweet atmosphere till the warmth of some lifeblood reacts to its own gruesome nature. Yet for this loss, with which she speaks, turns into twinkling arm naked and fearful. These are not the eyes of her belonging age, seer or seer. The bright pavilion of her own body is clueless, sharpened by rude hairs and tilting emotions, consumes her own robes. Newly done, inside her core, the generations of her own frosted season seems to speak like music without dancing whirls. Now, in this very moment, she understand her understanding resumes the glory of her years, and through it all, through her eyes with pupils of sound, she floats to breathe more than a darkness deep. Summer winds come when they are axed. The blossom reacts in their own breath. With older oceans, the breath blossoms of her walking hours sings it all to sleep. There is no moist mountain. She is throbbing like a shepherd's son, and she does not befall upon her careless woes. Everything is singing in familiar tones. Everything is clear. I'm sorry. Everything is clearing the tremendous night from its cold, cold, false enchantment. Something like this troubles her, or awakes her hours too full of care and pain. She thrives in reading her own dreams, even though now slowly she gathers the sounds of a desire that has not been discovered. The spirit is stolen, she says. The clear night is embraced, and nothing in this world can crown some passion parted lips, uniquely thrown into the shadows of an immortal shape. Shamelessly, like an ocean, sleeping plums, she creates in awe. She is the quivering rose. Yeah, like I said, you're probably not gonna
No,
understand it. I mean, I just love the way he writes, and it was actually him and Hector Verse underscore Verse. They actually wrote this together. It seems like,
oh,
um,
cool.
but yeah, Hyro has yeah, she was, yeah, that's true. Stephanie Lamb Poetry, yeah, that's true. She does do a lot of work with Robert Kazi. It's funny to think I met him just you know how sometimes on Instagram they do suggestions and stuff like that. That's actually how I met him. I just I don't know. I just started just hitting him up, and we've just been friends since. One thing we do have in common is, you know, we do have a child. He has a son as well, and he's a great father. And again, he's doing his painting, and he's trying to get his painting out there to New York so he could display his paintings over there. So I'm gonna pray and believe that he can get that happening. But that dude is a phenomenal writer, painter, person. If you don't know who that guy is, definitely follow that guy.
I'm absolutely going to be checking that person out, especially because you said abstract painting. That's right up my wheelhouse. Definitely going to be checking that out. And so, yeah, we're putting it out there. Like you said, like it's become like almost our own little joke. But yeah, it's the year of the rabbit, so we're putting that stuff.
No, I don't want to be. No, we're the rabbit. We're the one that's just paving the way for the rabbits to move. We're all
Yeah,
rabbits here.
I love it. So the last person that I have here, I kind of saved fun for the end because this is the one that's going to trip me up, so to speak. And this is rolling on for now. I just
Ooh, okay,
dropped
okay.
this one in the chat. Um, Definitely an incredible wordsmith and likes to use some really incredible. I want to not necessarily kin it to jazz because I don't necessarily put his writing with jazz, but it's kind of like sometimes it's on tempo, off tempo, intermixing that kind of gives it kind of a really interesting flow and beat and pattern. And I really appreciated it. And this is called Clutch the Ether. So I know I've seen this person before. And good, I did put it in the chat. I clutch the ether, seeing green distaste. Let me start again. Sarah, clutch the ether,
It's all good.
seething green distaste. Carmine streak, forlorn against this gray velocity. Puerile rendering of blinkered raging disquiet. Crippling reasoning in grayscale harmonies I taste. Bitter tincture, swelling, citring whole, biting down sanguine. Fears bleed miles of lonely misery under satellite rays. Breathing life in detrimental undertow. Tiding high within my cranial sling I fly. Flensing thoughts I pair from bone, fleshy comfort, as you slumber beyond my hemispheric roam. Seething ermine in the ether slowly relaxing green. Releasing toxic weaseling, surrender down the fear. Fortify the spatial between, clasping collars scruff. Cleaving rightly, gripping tightly, fighting nightly, stripping away my sight for blindness, coming on in, waves, boiling at a rolling simmer. This red haze is steaming much too hot. A fuse too short. Communication is not but spittle amongst our screams, reducing words to blades, slicing away with accusatory cuts, trusting you, trusting me, the trust in us, all but fucking lost. Frenzied carnage rips bloody on a bladed razor tongue. Clutch the ether seething, green in all my fractured rage. Ignition comes howling down the volcanic velocity. Anger explosively erupts. And that was from
Wow.
29 at 2020. So, like, yeah, gotta love that.
Wow. Yeah, that oh man.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
Every time.
Love it. Yeah, hardcore, strong aggression, and I like that. I like how somebody can just come off just by a combination of words. You can come off a certain kind of way, whether it's a rough and tough tumbling or whether it's a delicate, weak, wimbly flower. You know, the way you guys organize words and your artistry, it's incredible. And the same artist can do something strong and aggressive and dark, and then flip it and make it something pure and minimalistic and just succinct.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so I have one more I want to read, but I do want to share one of my pieces, and if you don't mind sharing one of your pieces after that, I would love to just share. At least so people, whoever's here, can have an idea of how we write as well. Just have an idea of. So this one is from Robert_Charbonneau. He is phenomenal. I love. Actually, he did a few lives. And the topic is poetry dead? That was like a live that he did, and it was so good. You can see the replay on his page. I did interview him. I think he's after Eddie Racy's. He's after Eddie Racy's or before Eddie Racy's episode, if I'm not mistaken. But it was before yours, where we transitioned into Unraveled Influence. I feel like there's confusion here. So yeah. So it was known as Jam Sessions Live, and then I rebranded it to Unraveled Influence. That's something that me and Leon came up with, and that's just what it is now. So yes, I'm just reading a comment here. Tongue twister on that one. Yeah, it was that you did great read, by the way.
Thanks. I had to practice. I had to warm up a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Awesome. Okay, so I don't see. Oh yeah, so this is an untitled piece by Robert Charbonneau. So okay. If you guys are just joining in, welcome. Oh, White Pigeon Poet, I haven't seen you in a while. Wow, good to see you.
From the past, it's happening.
Wow.
We're doing it.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, if you stay, I don't mind reading the room a little bit. I don't mind, honestly, if you're up for it for a couple of more, because we still kind of have a few, 30 minutes left, so I don't mind reading the room for a little bit. Okay, White Pigeon, if you stay, I'll read a piece from you. Okay, so this is from Robert Charbonneau. So it's an untitled piece. So it goes like this. Every kind of character in life we need, like, I'm sorry, let me read it again. I'm so sorry. Every kind of character in life we need, like every ecosystem, it's several species. The virality makes its habitual live. Oh God, I am so damn. I'm sorry. This is what the whole. Oh God, I'm so sorry, Robert. I'm so sorry. It's very these words is the flow of the words. Okay, all right. I am so sorry about that, guys. Sorry. Every kind of character in life we need, like every ecosystem, it's several species. The virality makes its habitat livable. It breeds a stability beyond our efforts to engineer it ourselves or to know. The ignorance engenders the harmony, and though our nature wants to scratch the itch to know whether one is predator or prey or pest, we ought not to be aware of the relationship, or else we risk knocking it all out of balance. And isn't that what's beautiful for? To entice and distract long enough to brave the flower or cross the glittering stream, to fall in love and keep the whole thing going. And that was by Robert Charbonneau. Robert, I am so sorry. Oh God, I think I messed that up twice already. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
The intricacies of that talent. It's just a part.
Yeah.
I think.
But that's what I love about Robert, because the way he uses his words, he has such a way with words, and I love that about him. I just hate that I messed up a few words, but like I just love that. Like I want to write like this one day. You know who else writes similar like that? I noticed Lois Sterling. She writes like this too.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to read mine, and then Andy, if you want to get into the room, because I'm going to read mine, and then I'll pull a piece from some people from the room for sure. I have one. This one, again, I pulled from, it was one of the jam sessions. So this is from May 2020, May 8th, 2020. Took off, I'm sorry, I already messed up my own piece. Isn't that great? So don't even worry. I messed up my own first line, Andrew. You're fine. I messed up my own first line. All right, here we go. This is from Angela Murray, aka Let the Thoughts Out. Took today off, Neptune destination, mission staycation, scheduled for 1-2 days tops. Fret not, only forgetting how far it takes to get through, passing outer rings, galaxies, reality, the space in between, to gather morphine lasting, time now frozen, grasping, freeing, Neptune's trident scraping, filleting flesh and other fractures, near miss fatalities, unfolding sweet release removing, which is cause for my delay, break down all failures, fuck ups, determining this time, removing every single chain, insecurities distorting, reason for each missed signal, face flash along the way, apologizing for every single absence, while this body lying there in order to cure what ails us, traveled to Neptune, left sometime today.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, just want
that's dope.
To escape, you know. I'm just gonna go somewhere.
Word.
Just gotta get the fuck out of here, you know, in my own.
Nice. Hey, anything is better than the pollution of this earth, if you want to be honest. Okay, so this piece, okay, now the phone's acting up. Okay, so I talked a little bit about my dad, so I'm actually going to read this piece. I wrote it 6 months, 3 months after he passed away. I wrote this piece, and I was just sitting on my computer. I just started writing stuff. So the title of this piece, it has been featured in this book by Silent Press, and they're like, they have this subscription thing, which I have a digital copy of. And I might as well announce that on March 20th, they're going to release a hardcover volume book, and that this piece is featured in that book as well. So once I buy the book, I'll send you guys the link so you can get the book and stuff like that. My piece will be featured in there. I think it's called Beautiful Poetry, Volume 33, and that this piece I'm going to read is going to be featured in that. So yeah,
awesome.
And that's actually my first piece that's actually getting published in a book, so I'm excited for that.
That's excellent.
Okay, So the title of this piece is called From Your Youngest Son. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Going through your Facebook page, looking at your old posts, memories, laughter, and outings I will always remember. The reality of your absence, the thought of it, I'm in disbelief. It was God's plan. He got that bigger glory we're always talking about. Your last days weren't easy. The powerful move of God spoke to me like Jesus when he spoke in parables. The signs of relief, the suffering no longer in progress, the procedure, the surgery, the battle was won. I am jealous of you. You get to eat at the Lord's table. You get to dance with your mother. You get to play baseball and perform for our Lord. I will see you soon, my greatest inspiration, my champion, my hero, my father. Forever will love, your youngest son.
Wow.
Oh, God, that was...
Wow.
Ooh, wow, I actually got through that.
I know. I mean,
But,
that's because
oh, God.
coming up pretty soon, and I know you shared a lot about. I'm grateful you chose that piece to share with us tonight. That was super incredible. I love how
Thank you.
really expressed like the next stage, and it's a great stage because again, how you view your connection with the afterlife and your family's connection with that, and that it's kind of like a great way of really expressing that. So gosh, I mean, a lot of happiness coming out for that too, Andy, in the chat. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's a strong one.
Thank you. That yeah. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys.
Honor of your father, and then also anybody else out there that has fallen one that recent. So that's a great one to share.
Word. I did say I was gonna read White Pigeons.
Yeah, I have one ready to go if you want to pull that one up. I have one for somebody else in our room who's been.
So, okay, since I read mine, you can read that person's, and then I'll read White Pigeons.
And then
piece after that.
Perfect. I have to, of course, I already spoke on this poet pretty fondly earlier. Of course, there's so many incredible poets that are in here that I will speak fondly on forever. But I picked one, and again, I'm sticking with the 2020 theme because this poet's been around. When I first came through, this poet was hardcore, strong, still strong now. They did a lot of prompts before in the past that really helped me. Like, I really appreciate all of our poet comrades that do the posts, the prompts. So that really inspires me. Just having either one word or a phrase, or we're taking a slew of phrases from somebody's monthly prompts, really actually personally engages me as a writer. I know they don't necessarily do a lot of prompts now, but they did prompts with another poet that we need to resurrect to back from the day. Colorful Anatomy is the one I want to resurrect.
Oh, hold on, wait. Okay, it's interesting you mentioned that because I was just thinking about her not that long ago because she had a piece called Under Construction, and I remember that piece like it was yesterday. So the fact that you mentioned Colorful Anomaly, that is insane. Okay, get out of my mind.
No, I know. We're resurrecting. Woo! Sorry, I can do that.
Just hitting.
I am going to
read. Oh, and my bad. My bad, Angela. I'm sorry. I just want to give a shout out to people who just joined the room. Phil, welcome.
Yeah, so many incredible people joining us today. We've been reading some poems from 2019, 2020, and 2021, kind of an homage to kind of the old poetry houses when I first came into Instagram. That's kind of what brought me in. I had to kind of take a break during that COVID, and I'm back, and Andy's bringing me back into full force. So this week, it's kind of an homage to that time period. Next week, if you're just joining us now, open mic. We're doing the live concept, but virtually, of course, because we're across the globe here. I have one from the talented Carly Marie Poetry, who says I know, Colorful Anatomy.
Tell her she is missed.
Yeah,
tell her she's missed.
We're resurrecting her, and we know that Sam writes still, so love it. So again, I have one from July 24th, 2020. I just love this so much. It's a kind of a shorty. Carly Marie makes incredible, and she just put out an incredible one. If you did not see it the other day, I'm not going to read that one because it's, again, I'm doing with the 2020 theme, but it's so incredible if you did not see that recent one from Carly Marie. But this is from July 24th, 2020. I It's not titled My Inner Ear, but I think that's just the focus. I'm sorry, I love this poem too much to not read it. I cleaned out my mind last night, dug a Q-tip in a little too deep, and twisted it around just right and shivered at the sweet relief that suddenly washed over me. Brain matter drips from fingertips that grip the tip of a cotton swab, releasing globs of brain-blocking blobs that try to rot the lot of my thoughts. Distraught mind fraught with fluttering moths. Mental pathways remain totally blocked. Mind turned a blind eye to the rhymes my subconscious likes to concoct, but I finally picked free that lock that mocked me for quite some time. I gave that little white stick a jiggle and wiggled out something sublime.
Wow.
Love it! And again, so many talents from not just Carly Marie Poetry, but like so many of our other friends out there in the stands that maybe we didn't get to yet, because I know we're going to take care of White Pigeon Poet.
Yes. Let's do this.
I loved it. Like, that just is me so much. She is like my spirit poet out there. I love Carly Marie so much. Thanks for everybody
awesome.
out there. So you got one ready for us?
Yes, so this is Late Night Musings by white_pigeon_poet. Is there ever such a thing as goodbye? Forever love is carried. Shattered hearts never heal, and forgotten love never remembers to disappear forever. Forever a part of life's journey. Goodbyes just mean a piece of the soul is forever changed. And that is by white_pigeon_poetry.
Oh,
I love that.
Goodness.
I love that. That is awesome. All right, who else is in the room? Oh, okay. No, you go ahead, only because I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
I wasn't really prepped. But I think there is a lot of people that recently have just put out a lot of good stuff. I don't know if there's anybody that wanted to promote anything that they were working on, that or something that had recently come out that maybe that our people or ourselves don't know, because that's part of it. What we wanted to do too, Andy, is I know we were interested in making sure that we were promoting what everybody else was working on and doing, because that's
Yes. Yes.
I think people that just publish either poetry books or we were talking about your friend trying to get the painting into the galleries in New York. So those are I think that I would be loving to share and posting and promoting and making sure, again,
no
art
doubt
begets art. Creativity brings creativity, and even though darkness, feels like it brings darkness, if we could twist darkness into light, that's what, brings survival.
Amen. No, I definitely agree with you on that one. Hold on. So, do you have a piece you want to read, or anyone from the room?
Hold on. I think something came through potentially.
Yeah, because my Instagram's a little bit weird. Oh, wait, hold on.
I got something. If I can open it. Okay, this was not sent to me by the author, but I have somebody who just joined us that a piece was sent to me, and it's from, I guess it's Phil's latest piece. So I want to make sure I put our friend's name, although everybody knows this incredible poet, been around. Definitely was somebody I saw when I first came through. And so I apologize again. Thank you. Transmutation. Here we go. The latest piece from our filthy Phil here. So feel as I propel in pursuit, jetting towards your wetsuit as my hydrostatic muscles attached to that mask, now trying to retreat back to surface. See as skin, textured is contorted to any given environment by the chromatophores and these 9 minds, 3 hearts, all evolve to reform, reshape to start, to be. The end that was my fate and origin. The monstrosity of mystery, metaphorically manifesting itself as a creature of the deep. And I often ask God what to do about this this 200-foot cephalopod, which seems a genetically engineered monster, always swallowing anything that follows me into my deep. Why every journey out to sea seems only to lead, to deceive in numerous angles towards the same Bermuda Triangle. Why my armada of ships, christened beliefs, hopes, and dreams seem to be smashed to smithereens, ever sinking and dismantled, only anchored by the unforgiving deep. Why all my ventricles are but chambers of suckered arms, acting like tentacles, pulling anything towards my beak. I found the answers in surfaces, how they submerge into the various bottoms they seek, and the purpose reached is that only lifelessness ever seems ever to breach. And just know that octopoda are also cannibals. I suppose that's why I keep everything sacred in my maw to masticate in mandibles, forever in awe at how I eat off myself until all that is left is the beak and my shell.
Wow.
Fucking biology.
That is awesome.
Fucking biology. Whoever said
Yeah,
that, you're
buddy.
trying to fucking trip me out, but you know I have the bio content down. I hope I did your word surface out there. I'm service, not surface, service.
Fire. Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, man.
Cephalopod.
So I'm
Love it.
okay. So okay. Let me see, because my Wi-Fi is acting up here, so I'm trying to make sure I can load. Oh my goodness, why? This is annoying. Okay. I think I got it. Okay, so I'm gonna read this piece. This is by Stephanie Lamb Poetry. This is the only piece I see on here. I know she does a lot of stuff with quote keepers. Check it out, guys. If you're interested in publishing a book, definitely check out her page and check out her website for more details. Okay. Ooh, I hope I don't butcher. I hope I don't mess this one up. Okay. I was in love once. We were in love once. Like a Shakespearean midsummer night's dream. You arrived riding moonbeams, speaking in silhouettes you claim were attuned for only my ears to hear. Starlight danced across the alabaster skin, and we transcended space and time with nothing but dreams in our grasp and love on our breath. We were going to burn it all down together to build a new dawn of bubblegum and cotton candy horizons, an existence where we could thrive without the masks, where we could unfurl our wings without our quarrels being plucked one by angry gods and even angrier humans. And I have seen the sunrise thousands of times in your eyes, yet I knew our days of summer were night when your tongue dripped honey and ink and the stars fell from the velvet sky. You dipped your pen in the well and I deciphered your writing on the wall, and then it happened. You swallowed the sun. You swallowed the sun, and the elders called it traveling fire because they could see the gluttonous destroyer in you, because they knew you only leave devastation in your wake. And I, who holds truth between tongue and cheek, will tell you the good die young and the wicked live forever. And if you were self-aware and not third-eye blind, you would see God isn't done with you yet. God isn't done with you yet because you haven't paid your karmic debt. I was in love once. We were in love once. But it wasn't poetry. It was a cautionary fable. Oh my God. Yo, I can't right now. I wish I could write like
I'm
this. Oh my gosh. Stephanie fucking Lamb poetry.
I,
Oh my God. Every time I read anything of you, I just wanna, whoo, I can't get enough. I really can't. It's just like, holy shit. Like, fucking, bro, I don't even know what to say. This was just like, oh, I hope I read that okay.
I think you did a great job. I mean, her words, of course, but I think you gave them
But
some life. I
love that.
think that's
Oh
the
my
perfect one
God.
to like kind of end with, and we can kind of wrap up what we've been doing, which was supposed to be just an hour, but dude,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait. Let me read one
oh,
more. Let me read one more. No, no,
you're good.
because Carlos Medina is in the room.
Oh my
He
God.
is coming out with a book called Rebirth. Check out the latest episode. He talks all about that. He talks about Hispanic culture. We have a good conversation. Just a little backstory. We did finally meet up because he lives in the Bronx and I live in Jersey, and it was so cool. We actually went to this place called Choripan in Bayonne, and yo, great fucking steak. That dude is amazing. Awesome, awesome dude. I'm actually honored and privileged to have met this guy in person. He also does a publishing company too called Mage Soul Publishing. Definitely check his stuff out. Check out his stuff. Check out Stephanie's stuff as
Yes.
well. When it comes to publishing, because you could, some people can have options and stuff like that. But definitely check out Mage Soul Publishing. Speaking of, I believe he has a piece on here. I'm gonna read. Let me read this. I feel like I have to.
I did not mean to like forget to get that amazing poet out. I kind of wish you guys were filming while you guys were having your meal, though. That would have been a great,
No, yeah, no. So it just happened so organically, yeah. So we were just talking, and then we went to his car, and then we just started recording the episode there. So it was just
like that's like the perfect like place to do it. It comes out so naturally.
Yeah, I said next time we do it, we have to like record the actual video now. Like we got to do it like that because that is oh my God, great fucking steak. Yo, no, it was like skirt steak. Wait, Carlos, if you're still, I think he's still here. I just saw him, but no, it was like a long skirt steak. It was like so, yo, like me and Carlos devoured the shit out of the steak, like. Yeah, he's like the steak. Yo, we devoured the shit out of that steak. That's how good that was. Oh my God.
Yes,
yes, he has. Yes, but yeah, yeah. It's like I said, like I love. I just want to say this before I could read the piece. I was gonna say that I love the fact that even though we've never met in person, but now we know catfishing is not everywhere. Like this is legit right here. And one day I'm gonna travel and just meet each and every one of you guys piece by piece. Cause I mean, it just makes sense, Like we know each other. It's like we're having a party. If that makes sense.
I mean, we're like exposing our deep and darkest horrible pain, and we're also laughing our asses off. So hell yeah. So I think this is a great piece to end as far as the sharing portion of our evening, and we'll just wrap up as far as like how we did tonight. And again, hopefully, please join us next week. Get a friend, open mic night. But again, also please, if you didn't get a chance to check out the last interview with Andy and Carlos, definitely check that out as well. So okay, let's go for it. Let's hear it.
All right. Just do a meetup in Jersey. Yes. It's funny. This open mic has inspired ideas that I'll talk to you after this thing. Okay. This doesn't have a title, but I'm gonna read it. This is from Mage Soul. This is his poetry page, and yeah. So it's called. All right. So my hope is one day you'll wake up without the internal pain. I hope that everything that was once hurting is now only known as a lesson. I hope that one day you'll find the strength and courage to forgive your past. This forgiveness will be a crucial part of your healing process. I hope that through all of these changes you're experiencing, that you become an inspiration for many people. When you tell your story, I hope that every single soul will stop and listen. Your past has the potential to be the motivation for you to keep going and become the best version of you that you could ever be. And that is by Carlos Medina.
Wow. Yeah. Now I see
Oh my God.
all that amazing stuff that Carlos Mencia. You said there was a book that is just recently, because I gotta check that out for sure.
Yeah, so I guess right here we'll just put this in a close. But guys, and for those who are just coming in, thank you for doing this with us, going live, and thank you for just you know, thank you for just being, I mean, whether you know it or not, you guys have impacted my life in such profound ways that I can't even describe it. And but bottom of my heart, I really love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for, being a part of my life. Thank you for giving me a chance to be in your homes and just to, even though we've never met in person, but I feel like one day we will. I love the fact that, we can do this shit right here.
Mm-hmm.
And have this amazing experience. And it's just good to know that not all parts of social media is bad. And honestly, especially this year, more than ever, I really want to push this podcasting, this community thing, but like the genuine part, the realness, the just the genuinity behind it. And honestly, this wouldn't exist if you guys weren't around. I don't know where would we be, but I appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much. Yeah, I this is definitely, you want to talk about life, and this to me was life changing. This was an experience. And also, Carlos and Stephanie, I'm still waiting for this audio ad you guys owe me for your page thing, your publishing thing, so that way I can advertise it on the podcast. Yes, and for those who I met for the first time, thank you guys so much. Yeah, so this episode will be uploaded onto the podcast, and I also have the podcast on YouTube. So as we're doing this, I'm using OBS to record this with the chat and everything to make it more organic and stuff. So either way, every day I feel inspiration with you guys, and just more and more just pushes me to want to do more. And again, next week we're gonna do open mic, spread the word. If we can get a lot of people here, let's do it. Let's spread. Let's just break the fucking internet if we can. And let's do this shit, man. I love you guys. And one day we're gonna have a dinner feast, kind of like the Last Supper, where all the poets
backyard
are gonna be here. Yes, we're gonna have skirt steak and everything. So
barbecue with an open mic stage, and people can bring their or their acoustic guitars and whatnot, and we'll just sit around a fire making s'mores and sharing stories and poetry.
Yes,
it's so nice.
Yes,
and I gotta echo the same thing, Andy. Thank you so much for, again, like, I think we're putting the call out and people are answering. Like, I appreciate you so much for pushing me to do this. I appreciate everybody out there. Again, find a friend, bring them. They don't have to perform, but if they want, they can chillax again, or they can, they don't have to perform poetry. They can just say whatever they need to say for 5 fucking minutes. Who gives a shit? This is our time to collaborate as a community of writers, poets, and artists. So thank you guys, everybody.
Amen.
And yeah.
Yes. And one thing I just want to say, yes, pretty much I want to help create the bridge, but I don't want to be the only person to just be the bridge. Like, I want us to inspire others to do the same thing we're doing, so they could help us build the bridge that I feel like we should have built a long time ago when it came to this. Show that social media is not all bad. Even though there's always going to be some bad stuff and some stupid stuff, but for the most part, it's always going to be like this. This is truly what this is all about. And you guys are awesome. So have a good weekend. I will post it. Me and Angie will post on our respective page about the ads and stuff like that. And again, and Angie, yes, and Angela, thank you for being a part of this project journey with me. I really, you have no idea how much I appreciate you so much. And Thank you.
You called,
So
I
guys,
answered,
God
I called, you
bless.
answered. So let's keep talking, and
Awesome.
let's
So
anybody
good
else who
night.
wants to chat, let's go.
Yes. Amen. So good night, guys. God bless. And like I said, I'll have this uploaded during this weekend for sure, and then we'll keep you updated about the open mic. It's so same time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Central Standard Time, I think it's 2 hours before that, and then Mountain Time is like 5 in the after. I have no idea, but whatever. So open mic, spread the words. Oh, damn, 24 Mournful Penguin just joined and we're about to leave. But open mic next week. Tell everybody. Let's break this. Let's get a lot of people here. Screw